welcome to Revelations of a Delusional Knitter. This is episode 71. It is Thursday, November 7th, 2013, and I am Angela, your host. On to updates and housekeeping. Welcome if you are new. If you are returning, I thank you as always. And either way, I hope you enjoy this episode, and thanks for tuning in. Lighting. I noticed the last couple of times I recorded, when I was editing the footage, it was like dark, and if I was holding things up, they were really dark. And I was like, what is going on? Then I remembered I had moved the lamp to use it for photographing yarn for the shop, and when I put it back, I didn't put the, they're like gooseneck things, there's like 5 goosenecks on the floor lamp. I didn't put them back in the same positions. So, I think I did today, because I do recall in the past, if I'm getting blinded, then it's in the right spot. Because I have like 2 facing this way for ambient light, and then 1 facing like in front of the camera, so if I hold things up, then the camera has enough light. So I think I fixed it. And we'll see, because previously I was talking about the Ravello sweater, and that the yarn was supposed to be kettle dyed, but it really looked like a gradient, but when I held it up, it just looked black. Now it is very close. It's like a very, very dark gray, and then black. But now I think you'll actually be able to see what I was talking about. I had way too much caffeine today, so I'm shaking. But yeah, in the center there, it's a lot lighter than the outside here. So hopefully I fixed the lighting problem, and you'll be able to see things better now. Ceramics. I mentioned a while ago, my mom and I took a ceramics class to make a Patriots platter, and then I never showed it. Why? Because I'm lazy. Because the platters are bigger than my dinner plates, but not by much. But that means they're on the bottom, and every time I went to record would be like after I had done the dishes, so there were like 8 really heavy dinner plates on top of these plates, and I was too lazy to go pull the plate out. I pulled it out today. And I'll tell you why later, because there's something else I'm going to do next week that I was too lazy to do today. So I figured the least I could do is pull this one out. It came out awesome. I'm really happy with it. So that's the Patriots dinner plate. And it had some cool techniques, like the green is 2 different green colors mixed together to give the effect of grass. So it's supposed to look like that. It's not supposed to be solid at all. It's supposed to look like that to mimic grass. And then the Patriot was a stencil, so we had to draw the stencil on there and then color it in. And then that was also a stencil, but in their sample they had it black. I decided to do it like that. That's actually more like the actual Patriots logo. But it came out really cool, and I was really happy with it. And my mom and I are going to do 2 more classes. One is next week, and one is in December. They are also plates, but they're winter-themed plates, and we're going to give them away as gifts. But I'm sure I'll have them before Christmas so that I can show you them. Heat. We still have no heat in the house. My plumber is making me slightly angry. He worked for himself when we first met him a couple of years ago. And then he got a job with the gas company, which is fine. Except that if you're no longer able to respond to your customers and do things, you know, in a timely manner, then tell them that, you know. For example, and I have no problem with that. I have a friend, my friend who's my mechanic, also has a full-time job as a mechanic, so you can only get him at certain times. Like if my truck breaks down, he'll do what he can for me, but you know, if it breaks down on a Tuesday, he may have to say, look, Angela, I can't do it until Friday. That's fine, if you tell me. I gave my plumber $3,700 last Friday. No, I'm sorry, the Friday before. And then I called him last Friday, and I was like, hello, did you order our furnace? What is happening? Because we're also trying to get a rebate for energy efficiency through the gas company. And there was a deadline of that, so I'm hoping we met it, because he said that he sent the stuff in. So I called him a week later, left him a message. He never called back. I called him yesterday. He answered, but he acts like nothing happened. He's like, "Oh yeah, it's in my garage. I can install it next weekend." And I'm like, "Hello, I called you last week." That's the thing too. It's like I gave you $3,700. Could you just return my phone call? Like you don't have to install it tomorrow. Just call me back. So we should have heat next weekend. It's been okay. There's been a couple of days where at night the temperature dropped below freezing. But we have the electric heaters. Oh, funny story, true story. I mentioned on the last episode this fantastic radiator heater we had. Yeah, the next day it burnt out and died. Unbelievable, right? So anyway, we went to Walmart and got another one of the cheaper ones. And so far it's been okay. It has been a little chilly in the house, but it's not terrible. That's the bad thing about our house. It's good and bad. In the summer, it's really comfortable because it's always like 10 degrees cooler than outside, unless there's a heat wave for like a couple of days where it's over 90, then it gets hot in here. But in the summer, it's pretty comfortable. But that also means in the winter, it's also 10 degrees colder in here. So if it's 50 outside, it's literally 40 in our house. So it's been a little chilly. Today it's actually very warm. It's rainy and crappy and dreary outside, but that's fine with me because it's actually comfortable. I don't have any heaters on, and I'm comfortable. So I'm hoping the temperature stays up because we still have another week to go before we get the furnace installed. Yeah. Crazy. And I really need to clean this room because it is a disaster. That's also why I'm not doing the thing I'm going to mention in a minute. I was laughing though. The other day my friend stopped by and I was showing her my sockhead hat. And she was like, oh, that's awesome. Yeah, you know, and she wanted one. So I was like, all right, great. What color? And I started showing her yards. And she's like, you know what I love? My husband thinks I'm crazy. She's like, you know, traffic cone orange. And I was like, have I got the yarn for you? Because I had one that I had dyed in my shop that didn't sell yet. And I was like, I so have the yarn for you. So I opened my closet, and I just heard a gasp from behind me, and she was like, oh my god, because my closet is stacked, like 2 levels. There's one in the back and one in the front, but I have it strategically stacked, because if anybody orders anything from my shop, I can open the door, lift some things up, pull out a box, open it, dig my hand in there and find the yarn, and I found it. I found it right away, and I was like, no, it's fine, and I pulled it out. I was like, see, here it is. I was just laughing, but it just gave way to the whole, like, this room is a disaster. Like, your closet just scared somebody. Like, you need to do something about this. But anyway, I still have my husband's sockhead hat that I'll show in Revelations, and then I wanted to knit one for a friend, and then she's up next, so I told her that too. I said, I'm knitting Derek one, I have one for Scott, and then I'll do yours. Unfortunately, her birthday's at the end of November, but there's no way I'm going to get those other 2 done. So hopefully, I was hoping I could have it done for her for Christmas. I had just a, PSA, public service announcement for people. If you find patterns on Ravelry that are free, I suggest, like I do, because I'm nuts, I have like file folders on my computer full of patterns, and then I put them on my external hard drive. If you see a pattern you really like that's free, download it, because when people find that they're very, very popular, then they start pricing them, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But if you can get it while it's free, grab it. Wingspan used to be a free pattern, and now it's a paid-for pattern, which is fine. It's a fabulous pattern. I haven't knit it, but it looks beautiful. But just so you know, like, if you see something that's free, grab it while you can. I had actually gone into my file cabinet out in the other room because I knew I had this hoodie pattern that I had on a CD because I bought it before Ravelry even existed, I think. And that was 2 computers ago. So when that computer died, or was dying, I think I had put it on a CD to back it up. And at that time, that was several years ago, I didn't have an external hard drive. And I was like, oh, where's that pattern? Because what happened was I went into my Ravelry library and didn't see it. And I was like, you know, I think that was before Ravelry. And I think I have it on a CD. So then I went digging for it. But when I did, I found this pattern I completely forgot about that I bought many, many years ago at the yarn store. And it's so cute. It's called the Kids Fruit Cap, and it's by Ann Norling. Is that not super cute? And I actually have somebody who's expecting, and we also have some kiddos that were recently born, because I think this has several sizes. Yeah, 6 months, 1 year, 2 years. So I think I might make up a couple of those, because that is just super cute. But I found it in the file folder where that CD was, and it was just funny. Speaking of, and I couldn't find it, and I think it's in the box over there, but I'm too lazy to go get it. The modern baby blanket that I was knitting for somebody that I worked with, who, like, the kid's like 3 now. I have a funny story about that. Not that one, another one. a friend that I used to work with, I just talked to the other day, and his girlfriend is pregnant, and they don't know what the sex is yet, and I don't know if they're going to find out, but they're doing a Winnie the Pooh theme. Those colors were perfect for that, so I'm just going to re-gift it. So I'm going to finish, she's due in May. I'm pretty sure I can finish it by then. But the colors were perfect for it, because it was like a light yellow, a brown, white. There must have been another color in there, like a grayish color, I think, or like a ecru or something. So I'm going to re-gift that one. Speaking of re-gifting, I had made a blanket for a guy at work many, many years ago, and when he was expecting, and I never finished it, so I just gave him something else. And then I finally ended up finishing that blanket. It's actually a free pattern on my site, Borderline, and it's different colors, and I mimicked it so it mirrors across, and it's a mitered one, so you increase and then you decrease. And he ended up not staying with that girl and going with another girl, and then she got pregnant like 3 or 4 years later. So I finished the blanket. I still gave it to the same person. It was just a different child and a different woman. But that was just funny. It just made me think of that when I was thinking about regifting the Morden baby blanket. Revelation sockhead hat just fell off my desk. I got some more done. It's still nowhere near done, but I got some more done, so probably halfway through the ribbing now. It's coming out very good. I love socks that rock. Love socks that rock. And I love these carbon needles. So that's coming along. Excuse me. Since it got so chilly out, I was like, geez, I should really finish his hat so he can wear it. Because I was wearing mine in the house those days that it was really, really cold out. Fish Lips Kiss Heel Socks. They're still the same. I haven't touched them because I've been doing other stuff. But, I'll show you. This is Goth. Felici Knit Picks yarn. Oh my goodness. So they just look like this. Still nowhere near the heel. Let's see. Ravello is coming out awesome. I'm loving it. So, I'm now on to the next color, which I just showed you that gradient yarn, and it's coming out really, really good. So I'm done the raglan. I pulled the sleeves off. I tried it on. It does fit. I think I mentioned that on the last episode. And then I went on to the body color. So now it's just straight knitting forever until you're done with the body and then ribbing, so that's where I'm at now. I did do traveling jogless stripes in the back that I think worked out pretty good, and I think once I block it, it'll look really good. So you can kind of see, I don't even know if the camera's going to pick it up, you can kind of see this diagonal line here, and that's where the color transition is. But if I sit here and I mush it around a little bit and play with it, the line really disappears. So I think once it's done and blocked, you won't be able to see it at all. And I did, like I said, I just did floats in the back. And I think they'll be fine, because they're so short, I don't think they're going to bother me at all. The only thing I was thinking about, though, I was like, geez, that's probably like right where your bra, like, hook and eye thing is. Like, it's probably going to get caught on it all the time. I don't know. We'll see. But it's coming out awesome, and I love it. When I first transitioned to the black, at first I was like, hey! But then I think it's only because I was so used to the white, and once I got more black, it actually looks fine. And some other people did similar colors. They did like a light gray with some color stripes and then like a black, and it looks fine. It looks really good. The penguin pillow looks like this. No. Sad. My gauge was off terribly, and I wasn't concerned about the width because if I stretched it enough, it was fine for the pillow form. It's going to go on a 14 by 14 pillow form, and it would have fit fine. I was getting towards the end of the yarn, and I still needed another like 2.5 inches, and that was not coming out of that ball of yarn. So I was like, maybe your gauge really is important. So I ripped it out, and I'm going to do it with the next size up needles and hope that it comes out okay. What happened was, I was getting 5.5 stitches per inch and 7.5 rows per inch. And you were supposed to have 5 stitches per inch and 6.5 rows per inch. So I think if I go up 1 needle size, that should be good enough, because it's only half a stitch this way. It's 1 stitch this way, but I'll have to see. I'll just cast it on again on bigger needles and do enough rows where I can measure it and see how it is. I really thought I was going to get away with that. I would have been fine if I had more yarn, but I bought a kit and there was only one ball of the white yarn, so that was not going to work. So the thing I was talking about, cleaning the room and the closet and everything, every fall I get really antsy, and my fall is almost like a normal person's spring. You know, you do like spring cleaning. I do fall cleaning. Like fall to me really is like the beginning of the year for me, is fall. And I love fall, and it's just a renewal time for me, personally. I don't know if it's because my birthday's in the fall or whatever, but that's just my time. Every fall, I decide to go find, like, all of my whips and finish them or do something about them, and I usually just pull them all out and catalog them and talk about them, but I don't actually finish them. So I went back to the episode. I was curious when it was last year, and it was in October. And I've been feeling this way for a little bit, so it's probably around the same time. So I was curious, and I went back and I watched that episode and what whips I had. I know where they are. They're all together, actually, after that episode. I finished one, which was Summer Wind, which unfortunately is over there. I'm not going to get up. And the rest of them are still not done. That was a year ago. So I wanted to do another parade of whips, but like I said, I just didn't feel like digging them out today, so I will dig them out for the next episode, and we can do another parade of whips and see if I finish any of them this time. String theory, I have no spinning still, again, because this room is completely trashed. I can't get my wheel over it. I mean, it's not that bad, but I have books on the floor and, you know, yarn and stuff all over the place. So, I really have to clean this room today so I can start spinning again. Scrolls, I'm not going to do a book review for this episode. I'm going to save it for the next one. Although if we do the parade, whatever. That might be a longer one. Let's see. And I do have my phone. Maybe this is not a good thing, though, because I keep looking at it now because it keeps shutting off. I have my phone on now, so it alerts me to when my camera's going to shut off on me. So I have 10 more minutes now. That's probably not a good idea because it's kind of distracting, isn't it? A little bit. Well, if the stupid thing didn't shut off, I have to reset it. I have to get a kitchen timer. I'm supposed to go to Walmart tomorrow. I need to put that on the list. So I can just set a kitchen timer over here. Let's see. Mystery Shawl Knit Along. I am amazed at how many people signed up for it. Over 300. About 100 came to the board, but I can see how many people downloaded the pattern, and it's been over 300. So initially, my thought was to release the first clue 2 weeks after I announced it to get enough people. And now I was like, there's so many people, and they're itching to cast on. So I have released the first clue today already because I couldn't believe how many people already signed up. So that's all set. I have a new shawl design that I'm working on that hopefully will be released soon. And it's not going to be a triangle. It's going to be, I don't even know if there's a name for this shape. It's like the one, it's like this. You know? So it's not really a triangle, but it's deeper in the center than it is on the edges. It's almost like a scarf, but it's a shawl. That's what it's going to be. So I've started it. Lots and lots of stitches, and so far it's going very, very well. So hopefully that will be done soon and you can see that one. Ravelry patterns. I have some Ravelry patterns to show you. One of them I actually bought myself because it looks like an awesome Christmas gift. And it's Hot Stripes Hanging Dish Towel. And it's by Allison, oh god, I cannot pronounce her last name. It's published in the Sweatshop of Love is the name of her shop, let's just put it that way. But it's this really awesome looking hanging dish towel. Like, you know, the 70s hanging dish towels. But this is a really cool, you know, twist on that. It's got different stitch patterns in the different colored stripes. Just really, really cool. And I have plenty of dish cotton in my stash. So I want to whip up some of these for Christmas gifts, hopefully. I don't know, we'll see if that happens. It's $4 for that pattern. And it's two, actually. It's the hanging dish towel, and then like a square dish towel. So you actually get two patterns for the $4. The next one is A Time to Reap by Melissa. Oh my god, everybody's last name today is horrific. Shasqueri? I don't know. I'm so sorry. It's this lovely, like, gauntlet knit pattern. And it's $4, but there's a 25% off coupon on the pattern page until November 9th. And the last one, this person at least has a better last name. Not that there's anything wrong with everybody else's last name, I just can't pronounce them. Is the Minette cardigan by Kristen Rengren. It's $7, but there's a $1 off coupon until the end of November. It's a lovely cardigan. So, those are my Ravelry pattern finds for you today. And I think I'm running out of time. I am. So I'm going to pause. I try so hard to get it in one take. I'm going to pause here and we'll be back for Delusional Jabber after this. And on to Delusional Jabber. I think I might remove 2013 Revelations, which was no more fiber, no more buying yarn and fiber, because since I've been unemployed, I've been doing excellent at not buying anything. I think I'm just going to remove it for the remainder. Let's see. Speaking of that, job hunting is not going very good. And I'll tell you why. Part of it is that nowadays with the internet and everything, what happens is that a lot of companies use a computer to read your resume. So a person never actually even sees it. So essentially what you have to do is every job you want to apply for, you have to completely redo your resume sometimes. Because it's not that you can't do what the job description says, it just may be that you worded it differently. And when the computer reads it, the computer doesn't care that that's the same thing but different words. It has to match. So you have to redo your resume every time. Because if it doesn't match, it never actually even gets seen by a person. The computer just dumps it out as a no match. Awesome, right? The other thing that a lot of places do, which drives me crazy, is it takes upwards of like over half an hour to 45 minutes sometimes to apply for a job. Are you kidding me? Like, create an account, username, password. I think I've mentioned this before because it was driving me crazy. And then, like, it won't let you do, like, a, generic password. It's like, no, you need at least one capital and one punctuation mark and one number. And it's like, really, how am I going to remember all these stupid passwords? And do I care? So, yeah, that's driving me a little bananas. They do say, like, 90, or I don't even know the actual number, but it's very high. People find a job through networking, which is how it happens. Your friend Joe knows somebody that works for this company, and, your name goes to the top of the pile, so we'll see how that goes. I have a feeling I'm going to end up working at the gas station. Because I'm not finding anything like I used to do. My other problem, which I think also mentioned before, is unfortunately I didn't go to school for engineering, but I can do engineering, but I don't have a degree in engineering. That's a big problem, because everything I apply for, that's what I did, requires a degree, and I don't even think they're looking at my stuff because I don't have it. I don't have the degree, nor am I going to go get one. So, yeah, interesting. Let's see, novel writing is going pretty good. It's National Novel Writing Month is November. I should have 12,000 words by now. Today, I have 750. So I have 7,050 words. Not bad. Steam games. I haven't played any games. I haven't even started that Dracula game. I was going the other day and I don't remember what happened. I think I started to not feel so great. I didn't feel good this week, actually. Like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Today is actually the first day I'm starting to feel okay. I don't know if I had a cold or something. Because it wasn't even a cold. It was just, I just felt like crap. Just, like, I couldn't even tell you. What, just, bad. Could also be that it was really cold in the house. I don't know. Reading, I haven't read the Walking Dead comics, actually, because I was sad, because I got in them way later, because they've been out for years. So I was like, bang, 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 going through them. They only come out once a month, and I'm almost caught up, and I'm like, oh no, if I catch up, I'm going to have to wait a month in between. So I kind of sat back on those a little bit. I did go back to Warm Bodies by Isaac Marion, and I'm almost done. Like, I can probably finish it in one more sitting. And then we have that movie on DVD. My husband picked it up for me, and I want to see it, but I'm such a dork. I have to finish the book first, always. Because what if I watch the movie and the end is the same? Now I'm not going to know how the book ends. I don't care if I watch the movie and the end's the same. Like, I always have to finish a book before I see a movie. They're usually never the same anyway. I don't know why I care. TV, Once Upon a Time, I'm caught up on. I did start watching, I marathon watched, Sean Saves the World. And that was with the guy from, his name is Sean Hayes, I think, the actor. He was on, oh god, what was it called? Really? Humongous brain fart. The gay guy and Lucille Ball's, Deborah Messing, her daughter. I have no idea what that was called. I didn't, watch that. I'm aware of it. I watched a couple episodes, but I didn't, watch that one religiously. Wow. Anyway, Sean Saves the World is pretty funny. He's really funny, and his delivery is really good. Big Bang, Brooklyn Nine-Nine, Grimm, caught up on. I'm behind on Sleepy Hollow. Gotta catch up on that again. And Once Upon a Time in Wonderland, there hasn't been a new episode, so I don't know what happened with that one. I thought I heard it got canceled. Oh, Hostages, too, I caught up on. I think that one got canceled, too, though. So I'm also behind on The Blacklist, and I'm caught up on Castle. Then The Walking Dead, we're always caught up on, and The Talking Dead was much, much better this time. Sans Marilyn Manson. It's funny, too, because when you watch The Walking Dead, they always have a commercial in the middle for The Talking Dead, coming up, and they're, the guests are sitting there. And Chris Hardwick said, who would you want with you if you were in the zombie apocalypse? And Chris Jericho says, Marilyn Manson! I lost it. I started cracking up. So that was much better without a horrible guest. And I think that's about it for this episode. So thank you for joining me. The highly caffeinated me. Now that I'm home all day, I just drink coffee and Dr. Pepper and get all hopped up on caffeine all the time now. Yeah. So I hope you enjoy. Maybe it's more exciting for you. On Ravelry, I'm Delusional Knitter. Please come join the board if you're not already a member. Revelations of a Delusional Knitter. Blogspot, delusionalknitter.blogspot.com. Gmail, delusionalknitter@gmail.com. And my Etsy shop is etsy.com/shop/delusionalknitter. Thanks again. Have a wonderful week. Happy knitting and spinning.